Yo, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm telling you, the Lord is so good. Listen, today you are in for a treat. We've been trying to help folks to focus 100 days, including your fitness, your faith, your friendships, all these stuff, but finance. We've been talking about finance. So the song that's been in my spirit all morning is la la la. Wait till I get my money right. I am here. We gonna try to help you get your morning right. What's up, Kevin? Yo, what's up, fam? Thanks for joining in. Good news today. We started it back during COVID, daily morning show where we just come on to encourage somebody and to tell people, regardless of what's going on today, everything's gonna be okay. Wrote a theme song. Like to hear it? Here it go. Let's go! Hey! Everything. Come on. Tell somebody everything's gonna be okay. Put it in the comments. Hey, hey.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever will believe in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Yo, turn my mic up. Y'all ain't see this coming. Get ready to catch this. Come to snatch your righteous mind, not your edges. God is the goal, and then there's the period. This thing is real. Woo-cha, we serious, intentional, the original. God is in control. Do it for your soul. Gotta let the whole world know. Ayo, ayo.
Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Gonna hear some good news today.
Yo. La, 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 la. Wait till I get my money right. Yo. Welcome to Good News Today. We are talking about getting that money right today. As you focus in this year, 2025, as you set your priorities, what does it mean to make sure that you're being intentional about your finances and that you're developing that area in your life, given the proper focus, how to build a strong financial foundation. It's not enough for us to be in church praising the Lord and our money not be right, your health not be right, your mind not be right. You got to get it all right. But if you're anything like me, you need help to do that. I don't know how to get my money right. I don't know how to build a strong foundation. We was paying them bills and we were surviving. That's how I was getting it right. So how do you be more strategic and more intentional about getting yourself together? I have found, oh my goodness, she has already blessed us. She's been working with LaRosa and I. We got a financial coach, y'all, and she has just been a blessing to us. And y'all know whenever I find people that's a blessing to me, I always want to share them with y'all so they can be a blessing to y'all. So y'all welcome Miss Melanie. Let's add Melanie on here. There she is.
Hello.
Good morning. How you doing?
I am doing well. It's a blessing to be in the place.
Yes.
In the space of those that are ready to get their money right. I like that.
Wait till I get my money. Let's get that money right. How long have you been helping people get their money right?
Well, believe it or not, 25 years since 1999, fresh out of college.
Wow. I was about to say, you must have started helping people get their money right at 10. You was like, hey, y'all come here and buy some popsicles.
Right. I have it on both sides of the family. So, my youthful look, I can't do anything about it.
Wow. That is awesome. You've been doing this for 25 years. What do you think, what's the biggest challenge that gets in the way of people even making this a priority? What's the biggest thing that you feel like, man, if I could help them just overcome this, it opens up the floodgates for other things? What is there something that shows up in your mind with that?
Believe it or not, Pastor Albert, I do more emotional finance, behavioral finance, than the actual practical save here, invest here, here, get this insurance, that insurance. When we get our mind right and our spirit right and understand it's just money. You know, something my grandfather told my mom, who therefore told me, it's just money. We put so much emphasis on what people think about us.
Hmm.
What do we have? The material things that we have. Where should we be in life based upon our age? The expectations society has about us as a woman, as a man, as a black person, as a Latina, as a Latino. You know, all these different pressures. And at the end of the day, if they're not paying your bills, what opinion do they have about the decisions you make in your life?
Right.
Right? If you're buying things that are beyond your means because you're supposed to have a Mercedes, you're supposed to have, you know, this, that, the other, kids in private school, but you don't necessarily have the finances to make that not tight, then you've got to pull back, reassess, and make it work for you so that you can get to those particular stages or points in life, but not
So
push yourself into it prematurely.
so when you talk about emotional finance, I'm not even sure if I've ever even heard that phrase before. Well, like what does that even mean? How do you how do you how do you help someone emotionally with their finance? What does that mean?
That's a good question. So a lot of it is how we think, right? And it's our perception. So a lot of people will make decisions emotionally. Everyone makes a decision emotionally, right? And then we back it up with logic. So when I sit down with people,
Hold on a second. That was good. So you said we make decisions emotionally, and then we go back and we back up that decision with logic.
mhm,
Wow. Wow.
the human construct, right?
Mm. Mm.
And so we'll justify things. We'll justify why we need this purchase. We'll justify, you know, especially now that many of us are boycotting Target, all of a sudden we can redirect our focus to other places. I'm seeing comments where people are just saying, well, I'm just not shopping anymore. You know, they used to
Mm.
be Target fiends, right? And
Right.
now they're just not, they're choosing other options or just not going. Well, we have to get to this point for you to begin to really reevaluate. You really don't need that. Or when you
Right.
see, like marketers are very good at understanding human behavior. And when you're on these various websites that say, you know, you click on something and it's like, oh, you know, so and so also purchased this, or, you know, people that selected this also bought this. Well, that's all to entice you to get more, right? But if you only went to the store or went online to get X, Y, and Z, then that's all you need to get. That's the
That
logic part. But the emotion is like, oh yeah, I need that too. Oh yeah, wait a minute. The next thing you know, your cart is full. You're spending more than what you needed. That stuff ships over to you, and you don't use but 20%.
20%. I got more cardboard boxes from the Amazon people dropping stuff off. And the thing about Target, what I tell people is you don't realize, honey, you the target. They got a they got a big old arrow and a big old thing on your back. That shot, they telling you what they doing. You the target. Yeah, no, it's interesting. How do you help people do that mind shift? I mean, obviously, let's call out the obvious. Pain and crisis is the best catalyst for mind shift.
Right.
I mean, absolutely. If you hadn't changed, that means you ain't felt enough pain. Because pain inevitably will say, "Oh, I need to change." I had a
Right.
friend of mine. He went to the doctor. He's been working on trying to get his health right and all this other kind of stuff. He got test results that were conflicted, and for about 2 days, he had to wrestle with the reality of I may have cancer. I may be dying. Let me tell you something. It turned out not to be cancer, but the pain of them 2 days. Oh, homeboy ain't drank a Coke since then. Ain't had a such homeboy been. As a matter of fact, he just drinking water for the next 7 days. Like he is on it. You know what I mean? So it's something about crisis that wakes that up. What what else is helpful? Like I'd imagine information, insight. What have you seen to that has proven to be a cycle breaker when you sit down and you're helping people breakthrough? What has been effective outside of just downright tragedy and crisis?
Purpose. When
Mm,
we're clear on our purpose,
yeah.
particularly our divine purpose, our God given purpose, what God has laid on our heart to be able to have an impact in someone's life, to be a benefactor, to someone, when we're clear on that, because people are governed by the carrot or the stick, right? You mentioned the
Mm,
pain piece, right? That definitely is a strong motivation for change. But if we shift our energy in a positive light and just sit still and think about, what am I here for?
hmm,
It could be as simple and as beautiful as being the best parent possible and
hmm.
raising that child to be the next president, the next CEO, the next business, mogul that's helping people, right? It could be, that we have been gifted, with so many gifts and talents and skills. So whatever that is, you might be a person that's the gift of gab and you're good at connecting people. There's so many different ways in which you can really sit still and identify your gift, which will be your purpose, because every human on this planet has something unique and something precious
Mm,
that God has
mm.
given each and every one of us. And when we begin to recognize that, then we can see how we can provide that, we can exchange that, we can give that to the world. And in a capitalistic, society, we've got to monetize that. So
Yeah.
there's some space where, you do want to give without, the I'll say the reward in exchange, or the reward would be the smile and the love that you get in return for giving that. And
Yeah.
then there's another space where you need that money.
You need
Yes,
to
you got to get that money.
la la. Wait till I get my
Right?
money right. But you know
And
what?
so
Go ahead. Go ahead.
let me explain this in a capitalistic perspective. A lot of times, in the church and spiritual conversations, it's kind of like capitalism, ugh.
Yeah.
Let's take a step back and just really look at that at it from a spiritual perspective, because money and spirituality are not separate concepts.
Yeah.
So when we understand as a human being, God has given me, given you, given everyone a particular skill, gift, talent. Okay. And in a capitalistic world, when we monetize that, we're able to share that gift, share that talent, and in exchange, because everything is in exchange. A smile as a means, or a happy face as a means, you making a cake and somebody liking it, and you get joy out of somebody enjoying your food. That's your reward. So in the capitalistic perspective, the reward is the money, the exchange of that.
Yeah.
And so when you understand that your gifts and your talents, um, that you were born wealthy, and so what's the monetary equivalent of that inner wealth that you were born with?
Mm,
That's when you begin to assign a price to your product
mm.
or to the service that you're giving out. It's the equivalent of the wealth that you were born with. We were all born wealthy.
That's
And so when
good.
you understand it from that concept, then it becomes less icky. And then when we look at how the U.S. was structured in terms of how capitalism was structured, you're rewarded by when you give, when you make so much money, when you have truly equated your inner wealth, your godly wealth, to its monetary equivalent, and you're making bazillions of dollars, then our system is structured where it makes better sense for you to give most of it away,
Yeah.
because now you've taken care of yourself and you've taken care of so much. You've done it in such a beautiful way, in such a good way, because you're helping people in the process, that you created abundance, because God only has abundant things around us, right? If you look at this plant, it looks healthy because it's been properly nourished, and so the leaves are nice and bright. If it was not being fed right, it would look wimpy and you think, oh my goodness, it needs some help. So we want to be in a space where we're abundant, we're full, we're healthy, we have a lot around us so that we can give. This plant
Yeah.
is giving me oxygen, right? So
Mm,
when we have more than what we need, then we're in a better space to be able to help others rise to the occasion so that they can be in a space to give more than what to earn and create more than what they need to continue that process.
That's
And in
good.
a capitalistic society, we're rewarded in that, and we get a tax deduction
Yeah, yeah.
by doing it.
That's good. That's good. They're saying the audio is kind of going in and out. You kind of, when you start talking, the volume drops down. I don't know what that is, but just keep projecting, and maybe it'll keep pulling it up. But I want to sit in that, because we are born wealthy, and people of God know this innately, inherently, but through the Word of God, that we have in us these these treasures that God has placed in us, and we've got purpose. But the conversion of translating that to financial income and financial wealth is a big leap for us, because I feel like theologically we've been trained that as Christians we should just give it all away. And that's just not how, even in Jesus's world, the gifts that they had, they would fish, and they would sell the fish. They would sell the wine to create profit so that they can continue to do ministry. So even in myself, I had to give myself permission. I had to give myself permission to make money. Like mentally, and what you're saying is you've seen that over and over again, especially because I think godly people, we should be invading the business because we are godly people.
Yes,
So we should
yes,
be in those spaces because we're going to come with a moral center
yes.
that will help stabilize the greed that's baked into capitalism. So capitalism is not pure within itself. It is a strategy, it is great, but it is also predicated on us being willing to look at our finances and say, enough. I have enough. Everything else above and beyond this, I'm giving away and walking in generosity. But what companies are doing is, I have enough. Now let me get more. So capitalism, greed is baked in. So if we don't have the people of God in those spaces that can value generosity over greed, that can value abundance to give away over abundance to have and to store up, then it offsets. And I feel like there are people of God, like you said, they bake cakes and everybody loved their cakes. Put a value on that. Put a value on that and then sell it. And then look, and the people of God also have to be able and willing to pay the money for the cake.
Right.
Don't be like, Sister Johnson, I'm a Christian, just give me the cake. As if Sister Johnson didn't have to buy butter and milk and sugar and flour. You know what I mean? So we got just like this cheap kind of beggar mentality. And I'm just telling you, I'm seeing people make money in business, and they ain't got half the talent that I've seen in people
That's
sitting
right.
around in church worshiping. So that permission to make money, that permission to take the wealth that's inside of you and put a value on it, put a price on it, and then bring it to the marketplace in Jesus' name. We know how to do ministry, but what the Lord said, Albert, I need you to know how to do business that benefits ministry. So we so used to doing nonprofits, which are really not nonprofit. They got to make a profit in order for it to survive. But to go in the for-profit space and say this is not a ministry, this is a business that ministers. That was a shift that I had to make. This is a business, so I need to make business decisions, but this is a business that will minister to people. Speak to the people, because I think there are people on here now and they're trying to get their money right and trying to make wise decisions. But I think there are people on here right now that's got wealth inside of them that's untapped. And they need to begin to pray and dream about going into the marketplace and bringing their gifts to bear, making their contribution in society. How would you advise somebody that's got wealth inside of them, but it's still inside? How would you advise them to say, okay, let's begin to take a step towards leveraging this so you can participate in this society of capitalism?
Well, a lot of it has to do with not just understanding your God-given purpose, but
Mm.
also understanding that you are worthy. And as a person that is worthy, they handle their finances in alignment with that.
Mm.
Just as when you know that you need to get your health right, your mind right, you go to the spa. You take time to I think I also hear the echo, so hopefully people can hear me. But you take time to take care of yourself. So
Yeah.
you want to take time to take care of your money. And so the way that you begin to do that is by understanding the basic fundamentals. So I'm not a big sports fan, but I do know about John Wooden, and he was the coach for UCLA, and he would always have his players go through the fundamentals. No
Mm.
matter what level of skill set they had, they always practiced the basic fundamentals. And so when it comes to your finances, the very first thing that you want to be clear about is where your money is coming from and where it's going. So some of us have multiple streams of income. We got side gigs going on. So we want to be clear about how much money are we receiving from our business? What streams of income do we have? And if we're working, and have multiple, job side gigs. What's the 9 to 5 money looking like? When are the paychecks coming through with that? And then with the side gigs, how often do I on average receive income from there? So you want to be clear about where is your money coming from. Then second most important part is understanding where is it going, because we
Mm.
oftentimes don't take that hour power once a week to just really assess, okay, what am I doing with my money? Am I paying multiple subscriptions that I don't even use? Am I
Yeah.
just kind of, in the store, and I go to the store too often. And as a result of that, I'm buying more than what I really came in here for. So therefore, that means I need to change how I am grocery shopping. So the top three targeted areas with expenses is food, clothing, and entertainment.
Hmm.
So food is something that I like to talk about a lot because we need it to survive, right? Eggs are
Yes.
off the chain right now,
Right.
and people are just in a tizzy. So you know, I tell people all the time I spend about $40 a week, and I fix food for both myself and my mother. And I also am a caregiver for my uncle. In the past couple months, I spent under $150 a month for him. So people are like, how on earth do you do that? Well, number one, I personally don't eat flesh Sunday through Sunday through Thursday. And then, I go to town on the weekend. But, you know,
Why you say flesh though? You just say meat. Don't when you say flesh, it just sounds so. Oh my goodness! I don't
yeah,
eat flesh.
raising some antennas, right? So,
Mm-mm.
that is my way in which I cut down, and I'm purposeful about what I put into my body. And as a result of that, it helps my budget.
Mm.
So just being mindful and purposeful of what you're eating, right, can reduce your budget and it improves your health, right?
Mm.
So that's one step. Another step is to just really think about, okay, what do I already have? Because 9 times out of 10, most people will end up not taking inventory, and then they're buying the same thing, and then they have multiples, and then it gets, rotten. And when you think about it, if you're throwing away food at the end of the month or week, you're throwing away money. How many of
Mm.
us would just ball up a dollar bill, $10 bill, and just plop it in the trash? We wouldn't do that, but we do
No.
that all the time with our groceries because we're overspending or not buying, in alignment. So one is to take inventory, make a meal from what you already have, and then figure out, well, what am I missing? I need some onions, I need this, that. And that's what your grocery list will consist of. Take that
Mm.
list, then you go grocery shopping. Now it sounds like obvious, but
No,
that's
it's
a
not
lifestyle
because
change.
yeah, because if you don't have that plant baked in, when you get hungry, you just respond to the hunger, and the
Yeah.
hunger just dictates. Then the hunger is spending your money. So the hunger
Hmm.
is saying, "All right, let's go to McDonald's." And y'all, I mean, like fast food, it used to be like $6. So, yo,
Right.
McDonald's is like $14 for a meal, and that's just one person. So if you got other people in the car, that's why I don't even go to McDonald's when my kids in the car. I just go by myself and I eat it before I get home, and then throw it in the trash before they see it,
Right.
so I don't feel guilty. Because you just so it's so expensive now to eat out. Chick-fil-A, McDonald's out here in California, they raised the minimum wage for fast food workers. So they've got to get paid $20 an hour out here, which is crazy. But, and I know that's because of cost of living. There are a lot of different reasons for that. But some of the implications of that is the prices of a regular meal just went up significantly. So then people are starting. I was talking to an owner of Chick-fil-A the other day, and she said, "Yeah, it's less of a luxury item now. It's more of a special occasion celebration now. That whole it's let's just stop by and grab food from Chick-fil-A. That mentality is now gone down, and people are starting to spend more time at home cooking their meals and making it more of a special occasion to go out than just a regular thing, which overall may be healthier and better for the family. But I'm still trying to figure out how you eating off of $40 a week. Like, are you eating nuts and grass and berries and water? Like a Coke alone, you ain't drinking no Coke, so you don't look like a woman that drink a Coke.
Well, see, that's the thing. I eat fruit, vegetables, grains, Sunday through Thursday. And I'm full. I have oatmeal, in the morning or something like that. And I have just totally, and I've been doing this for a good 20 some odd years.
Wow.
I've just totally reformed my eating habits.
And then because you can spend a lot of money on food. Okay, so this is good. We got to have you back on because I feel like we just getting started. I think and you dropped so many gems. I think one of the big takeaways is allow your purpose to drive your discipline. Allow what God has put in you, in your commitment to get it out of you, drive your discipline to evaluate your money, look at what you got coming in, and be honest and tell the truth. If you only got $10 coming in, stop acting like it's $17 because that one time you got $17 and you just now defined it as that and you living under a deficit. So be honest about what you got coming in, name what you got going out. And doing an hour of power. So we've been doing an hour of power with you for the last few weeks, and it's made a huge difference with LaRosa and I. Because we've just been going through and looking at what we got coming in, looking at what got going out, the deficit and the difference between the two, or the abundance between the two. It all depends. And looking at that, and then it's so sobering to know what you have.
Yeah.
It sends you into Target with more focus. It sends you into meal prep at the grocery store with more focus. Even Valentine's Day. Yeah, them gifts. We gonna hey, they say the thought that counts. We doing a lot of thinking for Valentine's Day. What y'all do for Valentine's Day? Thinking, because that's the thought is what counted. So we gave each other a lot of thoughts because those are free. So being intentional about that. But I think letting your purpose drive your discipline, and you said this word, and it is so powerful. You are worth it. You are worth it. So just give us some closing thoughts as far as just the worth of folks and what you would admonish us to do today.
Well, when you understand that you were born wealthy and you act in that space, then every thought, behavior, and action from there should be from a wealthy space. Not so much of trying to keep up with the Joneses, but being mindful of what you are here to do and how you're going to effectively make that a reality. So
Yeah.
every dollar spent should be with intention. Every action that you're now imparting to your children, they're going to watch and see you and be focused and driven on making your dollar count.
Yeah, yeah. If folks wanted to get in touch with you or follow you or see what you're doing and what you're up to, how can people connect with you?
Well, I'm all over social media, so you
Okay.
can connect with me at Zillionaire on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and that's spelled ZealLionAire. It's not ZILL. People tend to think the ZILL part, but you can find me on any of those.
Okay, and spell that one more time. Z-E.
ZealLionAire. And of course, you can just Google my name, Melanie Perry.
Melanie Perry. Yes, on social media. Zillionaire, Zeal Lion, right? So it's like zeal, like the zeal of life,
Yes.
Zeal, and then lion, and then Aire,
Mm-hmm.
air, zillionaire, and then her name is Melanie Perry. And let's just thank God one more time for Melanie. You are what an encouraging word, and yo. La la la. Wait till I get my money right. Next time you come on, I'm gonna have a sample of that. That's gonna be your theme song. That's your new. That's the theme song for the money section as we talk about getting our finances together. Yo, hope this
I
was
love it.
encouraging. Hope this was encouraging. Hope this was a blessing. I know the sound was a little in and out, but watch it. Turn the volume up. Rich nuggets that will bless your life. Yo, let's focus. 100 days. We in it to win it. Keep going. Don't give up. And remember, everything's going to be okay. God bless y'all.